Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
Hi guys, it's Yoni and I'm back with another video. In today's video, I wanted to talk about the therapist that went viral for refusing to work with male clients. Let's get into it.
I am no longer seeing male clients because they'll come in my inbox demanding me to prove my worth to them. All up in my email saying, what can you do for me? Nothing. There's absolutely nothing that I can do for you. Go find somebody else. Go play with somebody else. I'm not the one or the two, baby. We ain't gonna do this. Not setting up no consultation or nothing to see if we're a good fit. Trying to see what type of treatment modalities I use, if we mesh well together. Just be in my inbox requiring this free emotional labor. Absolutely not. Because now I'm sitting up here making a TikTok about how y'all keep harming me. Because you're not helping me. I don't need to be working with you because you activate my nervous system. See, I already know that. And I know we're not going to do well together because we start working together. I'm still be thinking about that email you sent me when you tried me. And I'm going to want my lick back because I know who I am. And that ain't good. So I'm just not going to see y'all. Find somebody else to do it. Find somebody else to do it because I don't deserve that. I have been harmed enough for a lifetime. I don't need to be harmed by my clients either. That ain't fair. That ain't right. So I don't know what they finna do, but they ain't finna be seeing me. I am now only working with black women who are overcoming perfectionism. That's it. That's it. We ain't doing nothing else.
So the interesting thing about this entire situation is the fact that people are not aware of the fact that a therapist can refuse to work with you and you can refuse to work with a therapist. So I'm just going to read this here. It says, can my therapist refuse to see me? And it says, there are various reasons a therapist might be unable to work with you, such as lacking expertise in a key area you need support with, what insurance they accept, or conflict of interest. There are various reasons a therapist may refuse treatment. Although it may feel like rejection, it's typically not personal. Now, why we got all of these men on social media taking this personal? Clearly, it's a conflict of interest, right? Clearly, she's lacking expertise in this area, so she's refusing to take them on as a client. And why are they online dragging her, trying to get her fired and all of this extra stuff when legally she can refuse to work with them?
I am no longer seeing male clients because they'll come in my inbox.
I want y'all to go watch that video in its entirety, right? My brothers, mental health is a big thing, especially amongst black men, right? So when I hear so-called therapists, psychotherapists, saying disgusting things like this woman is saying, they need to be shut down. They need to be stopped. You don't need to be in that field. For you to sit up there and be in a field and say, I'm not taking on anymore. I mean, how much are you women gonna keep attacking men? Now you want to attack us, like mentally. Like this is getting sad, and you want protection from us. You want to be provided for by us. Black men, I'm saying this straight out. I don't care if I get banned. Leave American modern black women alone. Get your passports and go find a better grade of woman. Because I'm telling you now, you're not going to find her in America. Period.
Believe it or not, there are many legal and ethical reasons why a therapist may have to stop seeing you, and today I'm going to talk about the 6 most common. And the first reason is no commitment to treatment. That can look like not showing up for your appointments or not following through with homework. We call that non-compliance, meaning you're maybe not taking your medication either. You won't tell them how you're really doing. I've honestly had clients lie to me about how they're doing and what's happening, and until we have their spouse or parent come into session with them, I don't realize that they're really doing terribly and aren't able to follow through on anything. And if there's no commitment to treatment and you're not working with me, I can't work harder than you, and therefore I'm gonna have to stop seeing you. And the second reason is there's no progress being made. Now sure, in therapy there's going to be periods of time where it's really difficult and maybe we slide back and we have a little bit of a relapse, or we feel just kind of stuck because the thing we're working on is so hard. But what I mean by no progress is even though we look into other treatment options and referring you out for a different type of treatment, maybe that's EMDR, maybe that's joining a group, whatever it is, we've tried these things and there's still no progress. And then we look into higher levels of care and maybe that doesn't help either. Whatever it is, this can either be a sign that we need a different therapist, different type of treatment altogether, or maybe we're just not really ready to get better. And the third reason is that you need a higher level of care. I've had clients who are suicidal and a danger to themselves, and so therefore they need to be hospitalized. I've had clients whose eating disorder is getting so bad that I worry about their health and that they might have a heart attack, and so I have to refer them to an actual treatment center. But at that point, when a client of mine needs more care than I can give, it's what we call out of my scope of practice, meaning that it's not ethically or really legally sound for me to continue seeing you, and that's why I couldn't keep doing it. And the fourth reason is if I feel threatened. This hasn't happened to me very often, but there are many times in the hospital setting or even in my private practice where someone has threatened me. They could be cussing out your therapist, telling them you want to hurt them, even lunging at them. If I ever fear for my life or worry about my own safety, I legally never have to see you again. And I know that when things change in therapy, it can be really hard and we can feel a lot of feelings, but there's a huge difference from you expressing that you're angry and you're upset and cussing out and scaring your therapist. And so keep that in mind, because if we feel threatened, we can't see you anymore.
The interesting part about this entire story is the fact that this Black woman's life is being threatened because she's exercising her legalities within her practice. It reads, "Can therapists stop seeing patients? Question mark. Ethnically, psychologists must terminate treatment if they can't address a patient's needs. If the patient isn't benefiting from treatment over time, or in the event of an inappropriate multiple relationship that may impair objectivity or judgment or harm the patient." Another point that I want to make when it comes to this situation is, once again, people, the world, lack compassion when it comes to a Black woman. So we have to really think about this for a sec, because psychologists and therapists, they are exposed to a lot of mental disorders like clinical depression, anxiety disorder, bipolar disorder, dementia, attention deficient and hyperactive disorder, schizophrenia, obsessive compulsive disorder, autism, post-traumatic stress disorder. So because they're exposed to these mental disorders and mental illnesses, that can take a toll on a person's mental health. So when it comes to this woman announcing the fact that she is refusing to take male clients, can we think about how teachers lately have been attacked by their male students? Simply for an example here, a Florida student attacked his teacher because she took away his Nintendo Switch, most likely because he wasn't paying attention in class and they were trying to work together and he wasn't really showing up in the way that she needed. And so she took away the game so that he could be focused in class. And what does he do? He attacks her. So if a therapist is not feeling safe, a woman therapist is not feeling safe, a Black woman therapist is not feeling safe, why are people threatening her life? It's very weird. Why are people trying to get her fired? This entire situation just shows the lack of compassion for Black women and the level of ignorance within the Black community, especially among Black men.
Let's talk about how I created a boundary for myself by no longer accepting males in my private practice, and people became very upset with me for that. It is not lost upon me that when I said I don't want to see males, a lot of people took that and ran with it and said I don't want to work with Black men. Because who said that? I was referring to the men who find me on different directory profiles for therapists. They go to my website, they see links to schedule a consultation, which will help us figure out if we're a good fit for each other. I was talking about the ones who overlook all of that and decide to send me an email asking me, why should I work with you? You shouldn't. You should not. Because we're not going to be a good fit. I don't have an issue with people emailing me asking if I accept insurance or what are my private pay rates, stuff like that. That's no issue. I can respond to that very quickly. What I was addressing was the people who come in my inbox or in my DMs, not just emailing, because people will DM me and say, why should I choose you over another therapist? I don't know. I don't know what that therapist be doing. That ain't none of my business. There was something about me that pulled you towards me to want to work with me, yet you're still questioning why you should do that. That's something you should be asking yourself, not asking me. I'm not here to convince you to work with me. That's what my profile's for. Anymore in my private practice because they activate my nervous system and I don't feel safe.
Every day, bro. Every day. Y'all show me. Every day, bro. Every day. Every day, y'all show me that y'all care more about y'all own demise than y'all care about women's safety. When I was an associate program director, one of my cohorts, who is also an associate program director, by the way, a Black woman who was clearly like 18 years my senior, we had a client in there who had a history of sexual assault. Not sexualized sayings, not sexualized thoughts, sexual assault. My job as the associate program director, which is a clinical administrative position, is to make sure that every man on that campus was on code and was ready to go. That boy was 18 and had schizophrenia, was Black. I told him that was not an excuse for lack of control. If you can ask me how you can learn how to dominate women, then I can tell you that dominating women starts with dominating your damn self. This woman says that she no longer wants to work with men because they activate her central nervous system. That woman has every right to do so as a clinician, bro. Like, what? Not only that, y'all complain so much about Black women not wanting to do work with y'all, how come y'all don't go do it? Nah, like that ass, these Black women went to school to do the same thing that they doing right now. How come you don't go to school to go help your homies out? You care so fucking much about somebody else not doing their job. How come you don't go do it for them? You bitch ass niggas find every excuse to continue to be bitches. No, bro, I'm not calling you zesty, sassy, or none of that. This is bitch ass nigga behavior. Because then y'all turn around and y'all say, we protect Black women, we do this and we do that. So then why the fuck shit like this keep happening, bro? Y'all don't give a fuck about nobody, G. Because the last person this happened to, she had a whole reaction to it. And then y'all will turn around and say, oh, well, she deserves, like, bro. And folks, like I said last time, I will argue. Because ain't no other explanation for Black men to be jumping down Black women's throats like this, because they are verbalizing their fear of what is going on in these offices because it has happened, and y'all complain and try to get them fired unless y'all some bitch ass nigga. Do you know how often female mental health practitioners are assaulted each year? In some facilities, it don't even have to be in private. It can be dead ass on the floor, in the milieu. Do you know what they tell these women? They should just expect it because it's part of the job. Nah, nigga, we need to do more comprehensive interventions around why the fuck we think that shit is appropriate. Y'all some bitches. You know what? I'm not even gonna go on a rant. I'm not gonna let y'all disturb my peace. I'm simply going to place the effort onto you to follow the script all the way through that you are writing. It's a cognitive behavioral therapy skill. Let's get into it. Because you're right, it is discrimination. So then here's my question to you, brother. What is your solution to protect these black women who are sexually assaulted and are threatened in these spaces when these clients are not able to emotionally regulate? How would you, as an individual who I'm assuming has never been in any of these spaces as an administrator or facilitator, can create a comprehensive plan and dialogue around protecting the mental health practitioners in this space? Now, mind you, it cannot be based on hearsay or opinion. It has to be evidence-based, and it has to go through multiple regulation boards before it can be implemented. And the site has to agree to implement these same regulations. If you are not willing to do this type of work in order to provide a solution, please stop talking, because I already have. Once again, not going to go on a rant, but I'm going to call your education to task. Because in my comments, you said that just because I'm not a therapist does not mean that I'm not educated on the issue. If you were as educated as you said that you were on the issue, then you would know a couple of things. One, you are correct. Gender is a protected class, but it's a protected class only if you are discriminating solely on the base of gender. See, the issue with your rebuttal is that it's very linear and it does not take into account what we call confounding variables in our industry that you say that you're educated in. So allow me to introduce a couple of confounding variables, namely the American Psychological Association. The American Psychological Association itself says that clinicians do not have enough training to deal with clients who are potentially violent and aggressive. Do you know what the APA has told us to do in these particular situations? They have a list of things. Let's go through it, shall we? One of them is allowing your colleague to interrupt. Now, technically, this would be breaking confidentiality, right? But once again, because it is an issue of safety, we will interrupt the session just to ensure that our fellow clinician is safe. Screen potential clients. Once again, we are talking about active and positive discrimination in order to keep clinicians safe. Do you know what else the APA says? Do you know what else they say if all else fails? Learn to beat ass. Learn to put the pause on people. Learn to put the foo fox on the woo wops in these motherfuckers. Do you understand? This is the American Psychological. Do y'all forget what country we live in? If all else fails, pop motherfuckers. And see, let me explain something to you, because it's about to get real dark. Because as a black man, do you really think that you are protected class in this place? My friend, shut up there. I keep trying to tell y'all, so many of y'all black men are imbued with white supremacist indoctrination that you don't even know when you're using it. Not only that, you were not as educated as you believe that you are, because the education that you have about the topic is rudimentary. I will say this one more time. I am not 30 years old yet, but I have been a clinician since 2018. I was an administrator of a residential treatment facility, an administrator, at the age of 26. Please do not let my age or my shenanigans on this platform fool you. I am very versed, I am very knowledgeable, and I am very understanding of my industry. You will not and cannot believe on any of your best days that you were more educated than me on my worst as an administrator. Because on my worst days as an administrator, I got a write-up and I had to retake whatever it is that I did not understand. So once again, if you have not done the work that I have done in order to lead this conversation, please sit down before you get sat down.
Girl, this is hilarious to me. You want to know what's so funny about this entire situation? Is the fact that you have a group of men online trying to tell professionals how to do their job. Yet they question why this woman is refusing to work with male clients. You saw how frustrated that man was getting. So when it comes to this entire situation, I just came here to bring you guys the facts. The facts are a therapist can refuse to work with you, can refuse to treat you, and you're not supposed to take it personal. So that's all that I have regarding this video. I would love your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. And if you're new here, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and I'll catch you guys in my next one.